It's nearly Christmas, so we're going to do some Christmas related drawing and colouring. Now we're going to look at some holly. Give me colour pencil drawing, so I've got a good selection of colour pencils here. I've got my images to choose from, so I'm going to just go ahead and draw out the pencil outline, and then we will make a start on the colour. Okay, once the drawing is done, you check you haven't gone too heavy with the lines. So here it's very heavy with the pencil lead, which if we're using light colours like our greens, it's going to not look nice. It's going to make it look a bit grey, a bit sludgy. So we're going to use a rubber and just lighten some of those lines. So you just want to take away a bit of your drawing. You want to just be able to see it still, because obviously it helps you have the lines to follow, but only just. You definitely don't want big, heavy grey outlines. So use your rubber, take away some of that lead. Roll away the mistake lines and lighten the lines you do want to use to help guide you, but rub away any mistake lines now completely. One for you to see. So it's green. Obviously I've got a selection of greens in my pack here. There are 5 different greens in my set, okay, from lightest to sort of more browny looking green. But also green is a secondary colour. We can make green, okay, just like in paints. We've got yellow, which is one half of green, and I've got my blues, which is the other half of green. So all these colours here can be used on the holly. I'm also probably going to be using a bit of my favourite colour, that sort of colour. It's a bit purple, but it's not. It's like a nice grey colour when you actually use it. That's quite nice. And also dark brown might be quite useful to use. So I'm just going to put those a bit closer. So just for the holly leaves, it's going to be these colours here I'm going to be using. Colour blending, remember you're not pressing hard, you're not colouring in, you are doing exactly what it says, you're blending your colours. So we're going to blend colours into each other. You have to press quite lightly for them to do that. If you press hard, you can't mix them together. You start with your lightest colours always for colour blending, and you layer up. You can go darker by putting more layers on, and another layer, and another layer. Obviously where you want things to stay light is only be 1 or 2 layers of colour. If it's a lot darker, you're going to have several more layers. You're still not going to press hard. So for a green leaf, we're going to start with some yellow. Okay, so I'm going to take out my greens, all those colours there. Okay, but I'm going to start with my yellow. So my lightest yellow I'm going to go with first. I'll do this leaf here. So very lightly again. On the video you probably won't be able to see this very much because it is quite light, but there is a dusting of yellow over this leaf. It is not about picking the best green you've got or the only green you've got and using that, maybe pressing a bit harder or darker just to get some variety. That's not good enough for what we're doing. You need to be blending these colours. So you need to use lots of colours. So yellow down first. I'm going to take the other yellow. Light there, so you should now see, compared to the paper, the yellow tone on here. Now I'm going to start with the greens. So lightest green first. You can then take the rubber. Remember, if you press lightly with a colour pencil, you can lighten. So if there's sort of areas of much lighter highlights, almost white, you can take away some or most of that colour to lighten and get that gloss where you need it to be. Okay, that's the holly. Obviously I could work on that forever. I'm going to stop, move on to one of the berries so you can see what to do with the berries. So again, you're going to need to pick a variety of colours, not just the closest match you've got. So in here, I know I've got 2 reds, also got pinks and purples. Okay, I'm also going to take out my oranges and have the browns just in case. So I'm going to take my lighter red. Okay, that's 1 holly leaf and 1 berry. Your turn to have a go. Remember, you are layering up the colours. You're not picking 1 green, you're not picking 1 red, you are using a selection of all the colours and mixing your colours. Remember, you can use a rubber to rub in and take away. You start with your lightest colour and build up. So my lightest colour are my leaves with my yellows, and they're still showing here in the veins. I haven't coloured over those, I coloured between those and left those bits lighter. If you have gone over them and you haven't pressed hard, you can use a rubber and find those veins again using the rubber to take away. Okay, have a go at the holly.